friend, and welcome to the 10-Minute Mind Shift Podcast. I'm your host, Janet Cagle, certified life coach, business strategist, and lover of all things related to up-leveling my life and yours. My goal is to help you experience a mind shift that gets you one step closer to your goals, whatever they are. My goal is not to keep you wrapped up in self-help all day, just 10 minutes. And who doesn't have 10 minutes, right? Hello, friend. Welcome back if you are a returning listener, and welcome if this is your first time at the 10-Minute Mind Shift Podcast. I hope you love it and stay a while. This is episode number 47, and go all in, hold nothing back. Before I jump in, I want to give a shout out to one of my biggest fans, Sarah Sexton. She leaves me reviews, she screenshots my episodes and puts them on Instagram. I just love her, and I love how she loves this podcast. So thank you, Sarah. I love you. As you know, I follow a couple of business coaches, and one of my favorites just shared that she just went over $1 million in her business in the last 12 months, and I could not be happier for her. So she helps moms with their online businesses, and she is just a great example of some of the concepts that I teach. Today, she was sharing her rebranding plans, but also what she has coming for her followers and her students. And it struck me that she is clearly showing up in a way that she is all in and holding nothing back and giving value and results ahead of time, which is exactly what I teach. Now, before your brain goes there to say, well, when you're making $1 million, it's easy. Here's what I want you to know, though. She was doing this 4 years ago. 4 years ago, when she first started out in her first year in business, she made a whopping $40. She's an amazing story. I'm going to put a link to her podcast in my show notes in case you want to jump over there and give it a listen. So, I do coach a few coaches and a few online entrepreneurs as well as non-coaches and non-entrepreneurs. And this is one of the concepts that I am always articulating to them. And here it is: to give value and results ahead of time, to go all in and hold nothing back. This podcast is an example of that. It's free to you to listen, and for sure, if you apply the work, you will see results before we ever work together. My free goal-setting workshop, that's another example. I do Transformation Tuesdays on Facebook. If you are on my email distribution list, I am always coming up with content to share with you. When I'm creating content, I never have the thought that I should save this for my paying clients. The reason that I don't is that I know whatever I give will come back to me in the form of an even better idea and deeper concepts for all of my coaching students. I know that what I give creates space for more evolved thoughts and ideas. In this episode, I want to talk about how you can apply that concept to your life regardless of where you are in your life. I get this question a lot from students who are either trying to grow a business or students trying to get a promotion at work. How do I know how much value to give before I can expect a return? How do I balance giving value with getting something in return? What if I contribute all that I have to contribute and I still don't land the client or get the job? Exactly how much should I give away? My answer is give it all. Every day, hold nothing back for later, and expect nothing in return for what you give. Going all in and giving all you have and holding nothing back will serve you. And don't give to get. Give to give, and then give it all you got. Understand, it's the scarcity mindset that has you thinking that you should get something in return for everything that you give. It's a scarcity mindset that has you thinking you shouldn't do a job you aren't being paid to do. It's a scarcity mindset that has you thinking that if you give too much, people will just take from you and you won't get anything in return. It's a scarcity mindset that has you thinking that you will run out of ideas and creative ways to contribute if you give all that you currently have. From your prefrontal cortex and with an abundant mindset, I want you to wake up every day asking these questions instead. Number 1, how can I blow my own mind today? Number 2, how can I blow my boss's mind today? Number 3, how much value can I contribute to the universe today? Number 4, who can I serve today? And number 5, What needle can I move in my life today? I have seen these questions work over and over and over again, and not just in my life, but a lot of the lives of others that I've worked with. I watched my daughter launch her own business this year during COVID, and she started giving value ahead of time and offering to serve and going all in and holding nothing back, and now her business results are blowing her mind. It's human nature to be keeping score with what you give and what you get. In some ways, we look at that give and take as currency. But here's what I want to offer. When we hold back, we start showing up smaller, less influential, less than our highest and best self. When we hold back, we are feeding the ego that says there's only so much creativity or only so many ideas, we only have so much energy, and that's just not true. When we hold back, we are feeding the part of the brain that its only strategy is to keep you in the cave, safe and sound, from whatever the ego seems to think it's protecting you from. Remember, the primal part of the brain is motivated by seeking pleasure, avoiding pain, and conserving energy. And while that was great for survival hundreds of years ago, that strategy does not serve us today in the modern world. Here's another thing I want to offer. Go all in for however long it takes to achieve the result, regardless of what the result is. Your brain can for sure wait you out when you say, I'll give it a month to lose the weight or to get the job or to get the relationship of my dream. And then if I don't, I'm just going to go back to the way I was. Your brain can wait out the 30 days for sure. Giving yourself that deadline says, if I don't get what I want by then, I'm done. That's just it. And that is just quitting ahead of time. You are for sure holding back. You are not all in on your results. I hear people say all the time that unless I'm guaranteed XYZ, I'm not going to spend any time learning what I need to learn. Or why should I jump in and take more responsibility before I'm even getting paid for it? Why? Because that's who you are. Because you don't hold back waiting for the title or the role or the raise. You show up as your highest and best self, serving and over-delivering to everyone because that's just who you are. You show up as your highest and best self before you get the title and the paycheck and the clients and the relationship. You show up first and then the rest will follow. Let's talk about this a little bit as it relates to relationships. I have a couple of friends who are starting to date again after a divorce, and they are both a little shy about jumping into the dating pool after all these years. And as I'm watching, what I am noticing is them wanting to hold back and not in a place of being willing to put themselves out there to experience all that relationships have to offer because they don't want to feel the pain of hurt and loss. They don't want to risk the feeling of love again for the fear of feeling loss again. I get it. No one does. But here's what I want you to see. The pain and hurt of not going all in for it is just as painful and hurtful as the loss. The constant wondering of what might have been will always be there when you know that you didn't show up being all in. When you are willing to experience the full range of human emotions, and not just the pretty ones, all of them, you will learn that an emotion, a feeling, is as bad as it gets. So, when you feel discouraged because someone else got the promotion, you will also be proud of the way you showed up. The being discouraged will pass. The feeling of pride will remain. If you held back because you didn't want to feel discouraged, you are going to be so disappointed in yourself for holding back and not going all in. You will wonder what could have been if you had risked it all and gone all in. In fact, you can't really even be mad when you don't go all in and then you fall short of your results. So here is my final thought. Stop looking for where the payoff is coming from and just focus on filling up your value bucket. When your value bucket starts overflowing, it all comes back to you. In fact, it starts gushing over the sides and your return will be 10 times what you gave. I promise you. I hope that this inspires you to go all in on something or somebody today. Be willing to show up as your highest and best self, standing in your future results before you see evidence of the return. So that's what I have for you this week, and now I hope that you have the best week ever. That's a wrap of the 10-Minute Mind Shift podcast. I hope that you were able to experience your own mind shift today. Listen, if you're ready to take this work to the next level, I highly recommend Life by Design Academy. It's my one-on-one coaching program that offers you a transformation at the speed of life.